So for a really long time, I have wanted to start a YouTube channel where I sort of just like talk about what's on my mind. And one of the things that has held me back is when you look at things like, say, BreadTube or even, the right YouTube or whatever, is they always have this huge focus on like really well researched concepts and ideas, or supposedly well researched and well formulated arguments with data points and facts and things to back them up. And my sort of entire universe revolves mostly just around vibes. And one of the things that I feel like was sort of an epiphany for me was that you can kind of find facts and data points and just anything to support any sort of argument in the world. So realistically, vibes are like the purest form of argument. And so I think with that, I'm going to start just reviewing concepts and things that are happening based on fucking vibes. And hopefully you kind of get where I'm going with this. So one of the things that's recently been happening in the streamer, VTuber, Twitter, literally everywhere, it's just everywhere, is the controversy around the wizard game, the Harry Potter thing. I don't know if I can even say that without cueing some sort of something. But basically what's been going on is J.K. Rowling, or whatever you want to refer to her as, is a transphobe. She's a TERF, which stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. She's a radical feminist, but believes that there are only two genders, and all of the things that sort of encompass that sort of worldview. And the online communities have been talking about you should boycott this to support your trans friends, and I support that. I think that it's, Harry Potter's kind of played out in the first place, but I also have seen and blocked people online who are in this weird headspace where they think that the antis of that group are harassing and doxing and just causing problems for the people who decided to play the game, because as content creators, it's literally their job to play the new game that's out. And there's argument for that, I suppose. And I'm not going to demonize anyone for necessarily playing the game. That's sort of between you and God. But what does weird me is that, first of all, I don't know if I've actually seen any of the doxing or harassing. I have friends who say that the doxing and harassing is happening, and then I also have friends and have seen posts about it has been no like doxing, harassing, and that kind of thing. So take with that what you will, but the vibe that I want to talk about today is the vibe of the people who say, I quote unquote hate the people on Twitter, so I'm going to play this game. Which, the vibe is off, to be frank with you. It feels astroturfed. It feels forced. I was talking with a friend last night, and I said that in quote-unquote leftist spaces, when there is infighting, there's usually a veneer of restraint. There's sort of like you want to point out what's happening and how it's harming people without being too, not necessarily accusatory, but too aggressive, too riled up. And the people who I have seen who are on the side of I hate the people on Twitter, quote unquote, therefore I'm going to play this game, seem almost like the opposite. They're riling themselves up farther than the situation warrants. They're taking everything at face value and then making a mountain out of whatever sized hill, whether it's a molehill or a real mountain. They're making a bigger mountain out of it. So the vibe here is feeling like there are flames being fanned, that there is pushback to the trans community that is basically riding the coattails of this, oh, well, we shouldn't dox and harass people just for playing the wizard game thing, and fanning those flames and throwing gasoline on the fire. So that's the vibe for that one. And I hope that this has been an interesting experience for you, because it's been an interesting experience for me. Normally I would sit down and I would try to write a script, I would try to record it and all that stuff, but I'm just gonna talk into the microphone, maybe edit it down a little bit, maybe I'm gonna put some gameplay or something, and we'll see how this does. We'll see if I actually stick with this little endeavor. Anyway, thanks. Have a good day. And I should invent some catchphrase. Vibe on, man. No. Oh, fuck.